up YouTube? Welcome to episode 1 of A Day in My Life. So yeah, I've basically just picked up the camera today. As I've been saying to myself, I should have done that for a long time now. I love creating content. It's what I do for a job on a totally different platform, mainly for other people. And there's a lot going on. So yeah, I'm excited to just share more of that, share what I've done so far, what I'm working on, what I'm working towards, and yeah, bring you guys along for the ride, but also just have something to look back on myself. Anytime I've put effort into content and putting stuff out there on the internet, it's always come back 100x, whether that's in the form of like business or connections, friendships. So I'm hoping this is just another outlet to do more of that and bring that stuff in, but mainly for myself, it's just something cool to look back on. There isn't a massive plan at the moment besides just talk about what I find interesting, what I think others might. A lot of it is around my work, how I'm growing my business, previous businesses I've been involved in, ones I'm looking toward in the future, as well as like a bit of lifestyle stuff. Living here in London at the moment, but moving around, traveling, friends, a bit of like fitness, some routine stuff, and just generally things that I'm interested in really. So stick around. So a bit of context. I'm an entrepreneur living in London, currently by myself. And the last sort of 12, 18 months, I've been scaling a content agency where we basically ghostwrite content and funnels for 7, 8-figure founders, mainly in the US. That's where we're sort of based out of. Before that, I had a small real estate company which did a bit of like investment stuff and mainly sort of management. I would do a completely separate video on how I got into that, as it was kind of by chance and I wouldn't recommend it. But I was always messing around with like businesses and ideas from like early 20s. As I didn't go to university, I grew up in like a super small, sleepy town in Sussex. And just, I wanted a way to, I guess, get out and go and explore. Always knew I like wanted to do my own thing, just wasn't exposed to that much in terms of what I could do. And just fell into the real estate, but figured if I could get something in place that was fairly automated and passive, didn't need millions, just a little bit of cash flow, and then I could go travel and explore and just, see what else is out there really, which I did, and was super fun. So I did like the nomad life from like, my mid-20s, just after COVID, for a couple of years. And then quite quickly realized I put a lot of effort into growing something that wasn't that fun, was quite stressful, and honestly wasn't that successful. It was quite small, it was quite low margin. And that's when I discovered, other ideas, opportunities, creative outlets, the internet. And that totally switched my mindset really. And that's when I decided to get into ghostwriting. I started writing for another agency and just myself. And then I realized I was like, okay, I want to scale something a bit bigger, something that I actually enjoy, get to work with like cool people. And that was then, what I decided to like jump into next after a bit of time out. So I came back to London end of 2023, I think. And then, I still had the real estate for a little bit. It was a bit of a slow, bumpy exit, trying to get out of that. Again, many stories for another day. And then, the last sort of like 18 months, just been scaling the agency. Started off freelancing and writing, but just built it all from scratch. So I want to use a lot to, I guess just talk about that journey, because a lot of people seem to find it interesting, ask me a ton about it. And it's also just useful for myself to kind of like get this information like out my head and like look back on it. There's so many things I've like learned and done wrong that I think are useful to some people, but especially myself, even if it's just a reminder to not do that again. So definitely going to bring that out. I just want to be like super honest and transparent about it, not some guru that's like, oh, you need to do this and like, it's all easy, because it's definitely not. And that's what interests me, especially when I'm talking to other founders. It's like when they open up about the stuff that's not easy. Business is just, I think, therapy. There's definitely easier ways to live and experience life, but for some reason, select amount of people have a an itch to go scratch and build a business. But it's fun at the end of the day. It's just not for everyone. But for me, it's changed everything. I've met some really cool people, traveled the world, and live a cool life that I just, is my own really. And it's cool. So lots of stuff to cover on that. Where I want to take it, where I'm at the moment. And like I said, I want to be totally transparent with like numbers, how I've grown, what's working, what I'm thinking about, where things are going. Bring everyone along for the ride. Life update. What's going on? It feels like a lot is changing at the moment. Like I said, I came to London like maybe 18 months ago, and it's just been head down. It's been pretty relentless. Doing the same routine, the same things in the same place, which I think it's good to have that. I find every few years something drastically changes. And for me, it was exiting a previous business in the real estate that wasn't like working that well, stopping traveling, and just realizing I needed a big change up, and then starting this new company. It's been super fun, and I think it's good to have those periods of growth where it's just like head down and that's like all you're doing. But now things are a little bit more stable, and like we're scaling, it's working, I've got help. It's time for another change. So I'm actually leaving London. Again, I'll do a whole thing on my experience in London. Mine might be a bit, mine might be a bit spicy. London is a cool place. It served me. There's a few things I did wrong, which I think didn't help me and the experience, such as like, I think I've been a bit remote in where I've like living alone has its like pros and cons. Also, it's just quite big, and being quite busy, it's like hard to just go out and meet people when it's like an hour just to travel. But it's cool. I've got a lot to be grateful for here, and it's been fun. But I've always had my mindset on moving across to the US. Like I said, that's where I work. It's where I just like resonate so much more with a lot of people. So in the process of sorting out my visa for that, which isn't super easy, takes a little while. So in the meantime, me and my girlfriend are going to go to Canada. We're going to chill there, live for the summer while I sort of like push the visa through. I'm going to go to Vancouver first, which is a super cool place. I think she's got some friends out there. I've been there before. And August, September is like a good vibe. So looking forward to change in scenery as I thrive off just, novelty and something new. And definitely got into a bit of like the same routine here. So July is a bit more chill, just getting ready for that. June was like pretty hectic. It was my 30th. So lots of like social stuff. I was in New York for my birthday itself with my girlfriend. Also saw a few clients while I was out there, and then had some nice like weekends away with friends back here. But it's just a lot. There's a lot going on, so it feels like July is now a bit more chill, packing, getting ready, and just preparing to pack things up and make the move really. But I'm excited. It'll be cool. We know some cool people over there, and it feels like a step in the right direction, and I think we're both ready for something new really, so that'll be cool. But besides that, trying to dial back in my fitness, as again I've been in a bit of a stale routine with that like the past couple months. Definitely it's just been like a thing I need to do rather than like enjoy. I've gone through like phases of doing like all the different things, from like CrossFit to road cycling to running, jiu-jitsu. Running's been my more recent thing, but even that I kind of not fell out of love, but just got into like a routine. I was like, oh, this is boring now. So gonna try a few things to change that up, and try something new for a bit, which would be cool. Okay, studio tour time. I don't do great at sitting down talking to a camera. Although I've been told this kind of looks like a podcast setup, which it kind of does. I should note, these are not mine. These are the landlord's. He insisted on keeping them because he thinks they're great, but yeah, I'm not so sure. Still managed to squish in my own sofa though. And kept the dead plant just for reminders of what happens when you don't do your daily chores and habits that keep us going, really. But yeah, what's cool about this one is obviously the nice bed. Got to call it a garden, which is nice. The desks where the work happens, a lot of wardrobe space, and most importantly in this weather, my air conditioning unit. Currently not on as it is pretty noisy. But what's cool about this one is like it feels more like a one bed, just without a separate bedroom, than a studio. I did not want a studio with a kitchen right next to where I'm sleeping, which is cool. So it's not massive, as you can see, but still trying to squish in everything I can on the microwave. The air fryer, cooking is a bit of my arch nemesis, but we get by. And then yeah, more storage and pretty bleak but usable bathroom. And that's it. That is where it all happens. So yeah, my routine's been pretty similar recently. I work from home, but probably too much. Been really forcing myself to get out of the house. I do have a WeWork membership, but I don't love them. My closest one is like always booked for some reason. I'm in Northwest, so King's Cross is like only down the road. But yeah, at the moment, I wake up and like the first thing I always do is just like go for a workout. It's something like straight in. It's either a run or a lift, which if I don't do it in the morning, it's hard to get it done in the evening. But I feel it just stabilizes me for the day. I'm so much more calm and can just think straight and I like it. Because I have a lot of calls at the moment, I also just tend to take them from home. Again, WeWork, the phone booths and meeting rooms, they're just always booked, which I don't love. So I need to concentrate when I'm on a call. But it's been a bit of a hectic couple of months just because, was basically in the process of trying to scale, trying to get myself out the business and bring people on. So I've now got somebody helping with my lead gen, who they basically just run on my like outbound. So yeah, they're booking me a lot of calls, which is good. So yeah, like I said, a lot of my time is still spent like on sales calls and like trying to move things along that way. I also just got somebody to come in and help with the fulfillments and do like the writing, a lot of the creatives, and making sure like things are running smoothly with clients, which has been an absolute game changer. Content can feel like a bit of a hamster wheel. There's always something that needs doing. There's always, even if you think you get a clear run and you're scheduled like a couple of weeks out, like that goes quick and it comes back around. But yeah, my mornings, I would just come back post-workout, try not to like check any Slack or email or anything. The plus side, I guess, being here is like the US is usually still asleep. So yeah, it gives me a bit of peace for a while. And then I just try to do like something important in the morning. That's normally writing some sort of like creative, whether that's like an asset for more recently been like fulfillment processes, that kind of stuff. So I can properly get myself removed. Sales, a lot of it is just like lead gen, moving like conversations forward, that kind of thing. Or like a bit of my own content as well. And then that's when later on I would like check in on like calls. Afternoon's been a bit more relaxed. This has been the first month where it's been much more relaxed, which has been quite nice. Things are just like running a bit more smoothly. I'm not putting things out and solving problems for like 12 hours a day, which is kind of nice. So it's been nice to have that bit of peace. But also just think about the next thing really. And at the moment that's just been like trying to like dial in on like our offer and like what's working. So running a lot of like experiments around that. And so far so good. But evenings can like be hit or miss for me. Ideally I prioritize them with like something social or something chill. Always just like try and get out of the house basically, especially when it's like it's nice outside like it is now. That's the downside of like working from home, is it's hard to have that like break or like separation. But yeah, if I can do a social or some kind of activity, like just go for like a sauna and a cold plunge, or like meet a friend for dinner, then yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, that's work at the moment. Like I said, I'll do a whole thing diving into like how I've actually got the business to here, where it's at, and like what's working, what's not working, what I would do differently, as well as some of our ideas that like I'm quite excited about. Playing around a lot with like AI and automations at the moment to try and, especially on the marketing side, also the like fulfillment and process side. Yeah, it's a whole rabbit hole though, but there's some cool stuff. But yeah, that's it for now. Okay, Sunday, and here down in Sussex, which is super nice. My parents live down here, so gonna go for a run. The plan was a long, steady run, but I'm going to do a bit more tempo kind of work, which would be cool. But yeah, super nice down here. It's been nice to get away, like reset. I find the stillness just, yeah, it just settles a lot of things in the mind. So it's been really nice. But yeah, gonna go get a run in, and there's a nice like bridle path along here, so it goes through the fields. It's super cool. I always find for me like getting out of somewhere, if I'm in a place for too long, I'll just go a bit mad, and yeah, basically not be able to concentrate, think, just work like my normal self. Changing environments seems to be the only thing that works. But yeah, looking forward to it. So yeah, let's go. Alrighty, it's 11:11 as I make this. Some might say that's good luck. Oh, my running has been a journey. I still consider myself a rookie. Reason being is I've never like followed a structured plan with running. It's one of the few things where I don't have a structured plan, and it's been like quite nice just to run. It's like my outlet at the end of the day. I just basically chase like the runner's high. But it definitely ebbs and flows, and yeah, I've been trying to actually follow a bit more of a structured plan. Just got hooked on some of the highs of actually seeing some progress. But yeah, it's been a while since I had like a proper event or anything to like train for. But even then, I would still just do these random events where I'd be in like semi good condition, and then I would just try something like just running a random marathon one day. In terrible conditions. Me and a few buddies on a trip last year in Arizona. One of them was training for the Moab, and on the last day, he said his practice, or one of his last training runs, was to run a full marathon. So he roped us all into it, which was super fun. But considering the week the week I'd already had, just a lot of social. I was there for like a business mastermind thing, so it's already like very like worn out, heavy socializing, late nights, jet lagged. But still, we woke up at 2 a.m. in the desert heat. It was still like 40 degrees in the day, and it was cool. We would basically set out like a 5K loop from their house and just kept doing laps. I think I got to like mile 18 and just collapsed. It's actually my feet that wouldn't take me further. I did pretty well on like fueling and just running at like a snail's pace, but my feet on the tarmac were not used to that. So anyway, since then I had a bit of a break, and today I don't know if I trust my Whoop, but I was like, okay, let's tell me what I should do today. Sorry, steaming up a bit now. All my it's not quite the desert heat here, but it's pretty hot nonetheless. Just remember to have I don't need to put the window down. But yeah, I think so anyway, yeah, today is just going to be a tempo run. I don't know if I trust my Whoop half the time, so it was like 10 minutes zone 2. That was feeling pretty good. 15 minutes zone 3. That was also feeling good. And then 8 minutes zone 4, and then 2 minutes zone 5. When I got to the zone 4 bit, I was feeling pretty gassed. and I was definitely had upped my pace, but it was saying I was still in zone 3, which I didn't really understand. And then this guy came absolutely hauling ass past me, like running. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll try get a bit of a tow from this guy. And yeah, that didn't work. I held on for about, I think I did the 8 minutes and then was just gassed. But anyway, I've not done a tempo run in God knows how long. Although they kind of naturally, there's a bit of tempo. Where I live, I live super close to like Primrose Hill, so every run seems to start with a hill and end in a hill. But anyway, it's all about trying to have fun with it, right? And bits of progress. But yeah, I definitely need to go find something to specifically train for. I think I would book some kind of event. I entered next year's London Marathon, but didn't get in. I quite want to do the New York one because you can do it as a Brit. You can just get a place, but you don't have to like compete or get a time for it or anything. But anyway, it was full this year. So yeah, we are still looking for something. Maybe I'll just continue to do the random spontaneous ones. Maybe that's my thing. That's what it is, right? London's very culty, running, like, oh, what are you training for, bro? And I'm just like, nothing. Just enjoy my running. Leave me alone. But no, it's all good. Anyway, gonna go refuel, gonna go pick up the girlfriend from the train station, taking my granddad out for lunch, being the good grandson that I am. And then, yeah, back up to London tonight for Sunday reset routine and ready to start the week again. Yeah, so speak soon.